Hey there. Welcome back. Today's story isn't just for learning English. It's for feeling it. We'll practice listening and speaking through a story about love, chance, and a little bit of magic. Just listen carefully, repeat after me, and let your voice follow mine, like a shadow. Ready? Let's begin. Part 1. The Ordinary Day. My name is Emma Miller. I live in a small apartment in Boston with my roommate, Maya Chen. I came here for university, chasing dreams, coffee, and a little independence. That morning started like any other. I woke up to the sound of soft rain tapping on the window. Maya was still asleep, her blanket wrapped tight like a cocoon. I nudged her shoulder. Wake up. We're late? She groaned. The sky looks terrible today. It's going to rain all day. I can feel it. I laughed. Then let's just run fast. Classes ended at 40:30. We still had one more. An evening literature class at 5:30. But right before it started, Maya looked tired. She sighed. Emma, I can't make it. You go without me, okay? I hesitated. Are you sure? She nodded. Yeah, I just need rest. So I went alone. Part 2. The rain arrives. When class ended, it was already dark. Thunder rolled above the city. Then rain. Heavy, cold, endless. Within seconds, I was soaked. No umbrella, no taxi in sight. Just streets shining like black mirrors. I looked around, desperate for shelter. That's when I saw it. A small bookstore at the corner of the street. Old. Quiet. Its yellow lights glowing through the rain. I ran. Pushed the door open. A bell rang softly. Hello. I called out. No answer. Only silence, and the smell of old paper. I walked between tall shelves filled with dusty books. Every step echoed softly. Then, I heard it, footsteps behind me. Part 3. The stranger. I turned around. There he was. A tall man. Dark hair, green eyes, his jacket dripping wet. Sorry, he said, smiling. Didn't mean to scare you. I exhaled. It's okay. I just came in because of the rain. He laughed. My too. Guess we both ran out of luck tonight. He held out his hand. I'm Jake. Emma, I replied. For a moment, we just stood there, listening to the rain crash against the windows. Thunder rolled. Somehow, the silence between us didn't feel awkward. It felt safe. Part 4. The Book That Glowed. We started walking around the shop together, brushing past shelves full of forgotten stories. Then Jake stopped. Look at this, he said, picking up an old red book. It had no title, no author, nothing, just a blank cover. He opened it carefully. Inside, the handwriting was old, written in black ink. He read aloud. To the two people reading this together, your story begins tonight. But we both froze. That's weird, I whispered. He smiled nervously. Probably just a prank. Then, the lights went out. The entire bookstore went dark. I gasped. Jakey? I'm here, he said. Then I felt his hand find mine, warm, Steady. He squeezed gently. Don't worry. I'm right here. In the darkness, something glowed. A soft, blue light. One of the books on the shelf was shining. We walked closer, slow, almost holding our breath. Jake picked it up. And the lights flickered back on. Inside the glowing book were old photographs. Black and white. They showed this exact bookstore. Many years ago. In one picture, a couple stood at the door, holding hands, smiling. They look like us, I whispered. Jake stared. They really do. Under the photo, words were written. Sarah and John met here on a rainy night in 1952. They fell in love. They married a year later. This bookstore brought them together. I looked up at Jake. His eyes were quiet, but full of something deep. Do you believe in fate? He asked. I don't know, I said softly. Maybe I'm starting to. Part 5. The old woman. Just then, the door creaked open. An old woman walked in. White hair, kind eyes, holding a small lantern. Oh, good, she said, smiling. You found the special book. The what? I asked. She pointed to the red cover in Jake's hands. That book only glows for two people meant to meet. It doesn't happen often. Maybe once every few years. Jake chuckled. That's a nice story. She smiled wider. Maybe, maybe not. My parents, Sarah and John, met here on a night just like this. I froze. Your parents? She nodded. They fell in love in this very store. And that book was the first thing they touched together. The woman opened the door again. The rain had stopped. You two should go now, she said gently. But come back soon. Jakey and I stepped outside. The air smelled clean. The street glistened under soft yellow light. That was surreal, I said. Jake nodded. Feels like we walked into someone else's story. Or maybe ours just began. I whispered. Part 6. The morning after I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying every moment. The rain, the darkness, his voice, the way he held my hand. Maya noticed. Emma, you look tired, she teased. What happened? So I told her everything. She smiled wide. Girl, you're in love. I blushed. I just met him. She laughed. You don't need time to feel something real. Maybe she was right. Part 7. The return. The next morning, I couldn't sit still. Something inside me told me to go back. To the bookstore. I ran there. Heart racing, breath quick. The bell above the door chimed. And then, hi, Emma, I turned. Jake was standing there, smiling softly. I thought you might come back, he said. I couldn't stop thinking about last night. I laughed nervously. Me neither. He stepped closer. Can I see you again? Yes, I said, before my mind could even catch up. The old woman appeared from behind the counter. You two again, she said with a knowing grin. Perfect timing. Jakey and I left together, and walked to a coffee shop nearby. We talked for hours about life, family, dreams. When he laughed, I felt like the world had just gotten quieter. In the best way. Part 8. 6 months later. That was 6 months ago. Now, Jake and I are together. We visit that same bookstore every week. The old woman always smiles when she sees us. Sometimes she winks and says, "Sarah and John would be proud." Sometimes. I still think about that night. The rain, the glowing book, the sound of thunder. I don't know if it was magic or just coincidence. But that night gave me something real. It gave me a story. And a kind of love that still feels like rain on warm skin. Part 9. Practice and reflection. Now it's your turn. Go back. Listen again. Repeat each sentence out loud, slowly, clearly, like a shadow following my voice. Every time you do, your English becomes smoother, your pronunciation stronger, and your confidence louder. Don't just learn English. Feel it. Because language isn't just words. It's emotion, rhythm, and connection. Even a few minutes every day will change the way you speak. And maybe, just maybe, the way you see the world. If this story made you smile, drop a 1 in the comments. If it made you dream a little, leave a like. And remember, sometimes, the best way to learn English is to fall in love with the story you're telling.